There are some stories the wind never forgets. Stories that travel across empty land, waiting for someone to hear 'em. This is one of those stories. A story about a cowboy and a letter that took 20 years to arrive. In a quiet town called Red Hollow, there lived a man named Thomas Hale. He wasn't loud, he didn't talk much, but every single day he did the same thing. Every afternoon, at the same time, Thomas walked into the post office. He looked at the man behind the counter and asked one simple question: "Anything for me today?" And every day the answer was the same: "No, Thomas, nothing today." He would nod, turn around, and walk away. No anger, no frustration, no complaints, just quiet acceptance. And then the next day he would come back again. People in town started to notice. They whispered. They wondered. Why would a man keep coming back when nothing ever came for him? There was a young boy named Caleb. He watched Thomas every day, and one day he asked his father, "Why does he keep going back?" His father looked at the cowboy, then said quietly, "Because some people don't stop believing." You see, Thomas wasn't always like this. There was a time he used to smile, used to laugh, used to feel something more. Her name was Eliza. She came into town one summer, and everything changed. From the moment they met, something just felt right. They talked for hours, walked together, laughed without trying, and before long, they fell in love. But one day, she had to leave. Far away, a different life waiting for her. The night before she left, she looked at him and said, "I'll write to you." Thomas didn't say much. He just looked at her and said one thing: "I'll wait." At first it was easy. Every day he checked. Every day he believed. Weeks passed, then months, but still no letter came. Seasons changed, years passed, the town grew older, but Thomas stayed the same. 20 years. That's a long time to wait. Long enough for most people that give up, but not him. One morning, he walked into the post office and asked the same question. But this time, something was different. The postmaster didn't answer right away. He reached under the counter and pulled out a letter. Old, worn, but real. For the first time in 20 years, Thomas didn't move. He just stared at it. Slowly, he reached out and took the letter in his hands. He opened it carefully, like it might disappear if he rushed. Inside was a message from Eliza. She wrote that she never forgot him, that life had taken her far away, that she had written before, but never knew if the letters arrived. And at the end, there was one line: "I hope, somehow, you kept your promise." Thomas read it once, then again and again. He didn't cry, he didn't speak, he just stood there, holding 20 years in his hands. After a while, he folded the letter carefully, placed it in his pocket, tipped his hat, and walked out, just like he always did. But this time, something had changed. The next day, he didn't come back, or the day after that. And in that quiet town, people still talk about him. Some say he finally found peace. Some say he went looking for her. Others say he simply didn't need to wait anymore. But one thing stayed true. He didn't wait because he was sure the letter would come. He waited because he made a promise. And to him, that was enough. So now, I'll ask you something. Would you have waited that long, or would you have walked away? Tell me in the comments. I really want to hear your answer. And if this story stayed with you, even for a moment, subscribe. Because there are more stories waiting to be told.